Did you know that you can come to the UK and work with a visiting visa? Find out more in this video because I'll be sharing with you guys the new immigration rules which expand activities allowed for those on visiting visa to the United Kingdom. If that's what you would like to hear in this video, please watch this video to the end so as to not miss out on any points I'll be sharing in today's video. My name is Precious Gold. Welcome back to my channel. And on this channel, I share info about UK, life in the UK, lifestyle, skincare, motherhood, and many more. Good news to those coming to the UK on visiting visa. On the 7th of December 2023, the Home Office published new immigration rules, and these expand the range of activities visitors are allowed to do in the UK from January 2024. And these activities include remote work, research, provision of legal services, and also paid engagements. I'll explain the full details you need to know about these new immigration rules in this video. Prior to these new immigration rules, there are ranges of activities you cannot do if you are in the UK on a visiting visa. So with these new rules, there will be commencing from the 31st of January 2024, there are ranges of activities you can do while on a visiting visa, and these include working in the UK. So please watch this video to the end so as to not miss out on any info I'll be sharing in this video. So this statement of change in immigration rules does not include any of the recently announced policy designed to reduce net immigration due to start effects in spring 2024. So now the point likely to be of most interest to employers are outlined below. So now ranges of activities that you will be doing in the UK include intra-corporate activities. They say individual employed abroad who visits a group business in the UK will now be allowed to carry out the following activities directly with clients. You can do advising and consulting. You can decide to start advising clients and doing consultation. You can begin to troubleshoot problems. You can provide training and sharing skills and knowledge. So if you're invited to the UK on a visiting visa, you can now be able to provide training for a group of people and also share skills and knowledge. The activities must be undertaken to deliver a project or service on behalf of the UK group business, not the business abroad, and must be incidental to the person's employment abroad. It means that if you're being invited to come to the UK on a visiting visa by a group of companies, you can work in that company for the period of time you have come to the UK. You can troubleshoot problem for them. You can provide training for a group of people. You can share skills and knowledge. He said this lifts a significant current restriction, which limits intra-corporate activities to those that are for the benefit of the group the visitor is employed by. So unlike before, if you are being invited by a group of companies to come to the UK on a visiting visa, you won't be able to do some activities like advising and consulting, troubleshooting, providing training, and sharing skills and knowledge. But now they have removed that restriction. You can now be able to participate in those activities the companies do. So the next thing you can do while on a visiting visa is to do remote working. The rules are amended to confirm and clarify what is currently only contained in guidance. The new rule states that visitors are allowed to work remotely on activities related to their overseas employment, provided this is not the primary purpose of their visits. So now, if you are in the UK on a visiting visa, you can start doing remote working, but this has to be in line with the primary purpose of your visits. They said the new rule states that visitors are allowed to work remotely on activities related to the overseas employment, provided this is not the primary purpose of their visits. This wording removed the existing ambiguity around the extent of which a visitor may engage in in work activities for their overseas employers while they are on holiday or on a business trip to the UK. So currently, the guidelines state that visitors are permitted to undertake activities relating to their overseas employment, such as responding to emails or answering phone calls. The new rules contain no restriction to the range of activities that may be carried out remotely on behalf of an overseas employer, which is a welcome development. So now, unlike before, if you're invited on a visiting visa to the UK by an overseas employer, the only thing you can do is sending emails, answering phone calls, and all that. But now there is no restriction to what you can do in the UK. You can come to the UK and partake in major remote work. You can do programming, you can do teleconferencing, you can do so many work activities on a visiting visa now in the UK. The next thing you can do on a visiting visa is providing legal services. So now, if you are an overseas lawyer, you are currently allowed to advise a UK-based client. An overseas lawyer can practice now in the UK. Allowed activities for overseas lawyers are significantly expanded upon under the new rules to include the provision of legal services, including you can do advice, you can appearing in arbitration, you can act as an arbitrator or mediator, you can act as an expert witness. Oh wow, this is great. Appearing in court or jurisdiction, which allows short-term call or where qualified in that jurisdiction. Now you can do conference and teaching. You can provide advocacy for a court on tribunal hearing. Wow, this is great. Litigation and transactional legal services, including drafting contracts. So now you being a lawyer invited to the UK by an employer, here are ranges of activities that you can partake in. The requirement for the services to be for a UK-based client has been dropped. This is a new pragmatic change that recognizes the complexity of the client parties and practices often involved in legal work. Another thing that you can do in the UK on a visiting visa include permitted paid engagement. So being a speaker at a conference is included as permitted paid engagement. They now said that the route is also being absorbed into the standard visitor route, meaning that individual who needs to come to the UK for permitted paid engagement purposes may enter the UK for 6 months instead of one. Wow. This will, however, be required to arrange their engagement before entry and complete it within 30 days of their arrival. Individuals intending to carry out a permitted paid engagement must be over the age of 18 years. Of course, you have to be over the age of 18 years, be able to speak in a conference in the UK. And also, another activity you can do in the UK on a visiting visa is to be engaged in research. Academics, scientists, and researchers will now be allowed to carry out research in the UK as a visitor, provided this is for the specific project directly relating to their employment abroad. So now you can be allowed to carry out research in the UK without restriction. So you are allowed to do your research in the UK and you won't be restricted on what you can do. Another thing you can do in the UK with your visiting visa is an international sports person. From 31st January 2024, international sports persons applying to come to the UK for 12 months or less may make their entry clearance from any country they are in, provided they can demonstrate that they are lawfully and carrying out activities as a sports person. So now you can come to the UK as a sports person and you won't be restricted on the activities you are in the UK to do. But the only thing is that you must make sure that the activities you apply for it is what you're coming to the UK to do. All these things are things you can do if you are on a visiting visa to the United Kingdom. I hope you've been able to get one or two info from this new immigration rules for those on visiting visa to the UK. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. And if you also have questions about these new changes, please put down your questions in the comment section below and I will surely attend to it. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please go ahead and do so. Most importantly, hit on the bell notification so as to always be notified whenever I drop a new video on this channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.